You walked into a room and immediately felt the tension before anyone said a word. You watched someone smile and knew it didn't reach their eyes. You said something perfectly normal and then spent the next 3 hours replaying it, wondering if it came out wrong. You're not paranoid. You're not overthinking. You're just too aware. And somehow, that gift has also become the heaviest thing you carry. There's a version of you that exists in every social interaction, one that's fully present in the conversation, and one that's quietly watching from above, cataloging, analyzing, noticing things nobody asked you to notice. You pick up on the slight shift in someone's tone, the pause that lasted a second too long, the way someone laughed but their shoulders stayed tense. You see it all, every time, without trying. And here's what people don't understand about you. It's not that you want to read between every line, it's that you can't stop. The awareness isn't something you turn on, it never really turns off. Psychologists call this hypervigilance of social cues, but forget the label. What it really means is this. Your nervous system learned somewhere along the way that paying close attention kept you safe. Maybe you grew up in an unpredictable environment. Maybe love in your life came with conditions you had to constantly decode. Maybe you just got hurt enough times that your mind decided, never again. Never be caught off guard again. So your brain became a surveillance system, exquisitely tuned, running quietly in the background of every moment. The problem is, surveillance systems don't know how to rest. Think about what that actually costs you. You go to a party, and while everyone else is just existing, laughing, being present, you're managing 4 different conversations in your head. Did I come across as too eager? Does she seem distant with me tonight, or is she just tired? Why did he look away when I said that? You leave exhausted in a way that has nothing to do with the time. And the loneliness of it, that part is rarely talked about. Because you can read rooms full of people and still feel completely alone in them. You understand others deeply, sometimes better than they understand themselves. But you wonder if anyone has ever seen you that clearly. That's the quiet ache at the center of this. People who are too aware often become extraordinary friends. They're the ones who notice when you're not okay before you've said a word. The ones who remember the small things, who show up in exactly the right way at exactly the right moment. They love with a kind of attentiveness that feels rare because it is. But they're also the ones who apologize the most for things that don't need apologizing for, who shrink themselves to keep the peace, who carry other people's emotions home with them like luggage they never asked to pick up. They feel everything, including things that were never meant for them to feel. Here's the moment I want you to sit with. All of that awareness, the reading people, the constant processing, the emotional radar that never sleeps. It was never your weakness. It was your adaptation. It was the most intelligent response you could have had to a world that asked a lot of you. But here's what no one told you. You don't have to be aware of everything to be safe anymore. That part, the part where hypervigilance was the only tool you had, that chapter may already be over. And yet the system is still running, still scanning, still working to protect a version of you that has already survived. The most aware people are often the last to extend that same awareness inward. They spend so much energy understanding others, they forget to ask, what do I actually need right now? What am I actually feeling underneath all the analysis? Your awareness is not the problem. The direction of it is. You were taught to look outward to stay safe. Maybe it's time to look inward to finally feel free. You are not too much. You are not broken for noticing everything. You are someone whose depth of perception is genuinely rare. But depth without rest becomes weight. So here is the only question that matters today. What would it feel like to just let one thing go unanalyzed? To sit in a moment without studying it? To trust that you are safe enough right now to simply exist in it? You don't have to have an answer yet. Just notice how the question feels. That's where it begins.